Thank you for joining us again on SpEd. We have with us today Dorie Flynn, the Executive Director of MANSEF, and we are getting ready to discuss a little bit more in detail about what's called wraparound services. Could you give us a little bit more information what that means?
Sure. When a public school system is determining what is needed for a child and they feel that a non-public placement might not be everything that they need, so they would like to keep the child in the public school, they want to put in wraparound support services. So if you're a parent and you're discussing that your child might need speech therapy or might need art therapy, special tutoring, social work services, or just an evaluation of some sort, like a neuropsychological, the local public school system can call me as a single point of entry, one-stop shop, and request whatever service that is. And I will then wrap that support service around that child and deliver the service usually at the public school. So if there's specialized tutoring that's, Orton Gillingham training or Linda Mood Bell's specialized tutoring, we can put a tutor at that school a couple hours a week after, sports or whatever it is. So it's just to provide wraparound supports to keep that child in the public school.
Okay. Is that a part of the IEP process as well?
Yes, it would be.
So
correct.
They would have to have an IEP meeting and all that.
Yes,
in
the
order
parent
to...
would go through that.
Okay.
And sit down with the team and make sure that that's right on that document, that IEP, because that's your ticket to service, and that's how the children are determined what they need. Okay.
As far as what are the criteria for someone to do this type of wraparound services, the providers, is there a particular criteria that's different than being in the non-public school setting?
No, they would still need to be certified. They also get fingerprinted. They also have to go through a background check, a drug screen, same as it would be for if you are employed at a non-public school.
Okay.
They have to be credentialed. They have to have a license. Same.
Okay. Now, from my understanding, it could be anything from psychological
Correct.
resources to
psychiatric, psychological, tutoring, specialized therapies, whatever it might be.
If a parent wanted to consider a non-public school for their special ed child versus the public school, what are some of the pros and cons of them going to a non-public school versus the public school?
Smaller setting, possibly having more specialized services. Again, teacher-student ratio is better at a non-public school. But it's very individualized. Each parent really needs to decide what is appropriate for their child. Again, our schools are serving only children with disabilities. So if a child needed to have access to the general population, that might be a choice that a parent would make. But our schools must follow the exact same curriculum that a public school follows. They can only award a public school diploma. So it's a more boutique-like setting, it's more specialized services. Many parents want their child to be with their peers and also to be with children who have similar disabilities. They build friendships that way. Our schools do a tremendous amount of work taking children into the community. They're part of Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, bowling leagues, going to the movies, doing all sorts of work-study programs. We have a very strong transition component to the MANSEF schools where we're getting kids back involved in communities. And so it's a very good partnership that we have.
Now, some of your services as well as in-homes intervention, what are some other support services that you provide for the families that are involved?
Sure. A lot of it would be social work services and counseling. We also have, some of our schools do a lot of in-home intervention programs where if the child's on a behavior mod system, that system is transferred to the home, and so there's a lot of work with the families. There is a whole MANSEF parent network that has been started in the past 2 years that has really been an invaluable support to families looking for help. How do you get your child into a non-public school? Wanting to talk to parents who have gone through the process. And just providing a lot of general support.
Is this free?
In essence, it's free because the federal law mandates that every child with a disability is entitled to a free, appropriate public education, which is called FAPE. And so when children are referred to non-public schools, the tuition is paid for by the local public school system in the state.
Even the support services?
Even the support services, yes. And transportation is also provided, so that if you live in Montgomery County and your child's going to a program that might be 15, 20 minutes away, transportation is provided by Montgomery County Public Schools or whatever school system it is where you live.
Now, how can a parent find out if a particular non-public school is going to be the appropriate placement for their child? Do you have like a website that
we
they
do
can
have a
view
website. It's www.mansef.org, and you can certainly, as a parent, go onto the website and look at the membership directory. You can download that directory. Each school profile is listed there with the types of disabilities that they serve, the age range that they serve, and the way that the appropriateness is determined is based upon that IEP. So if the IEP is reviewed by the school, the non-public school, and it's determined that they can appropriately serve the child, then that referral is accepted, and then you go for an interview, just like you would anywhere else. And so it's then you can take a tour of the school, determine whether you think it's going to be a good fit or not.
Now, as a parent who has children with special needs, sometimes you might go to a school and they might not have openings or vacancies for that. Is there, as far as, do you provide that information so that the parent might be able to?
Right. We don't want referrals going to a school that is full.
Right.
We don't want to send parents to something and waste their time in that way. So yes, you can look on our website and see which schools do have openings.
Okay. Okay. And when we get back, I want to talk a little bit more about your parent organization and some of the other things that you're doing as far as in the community.
Sure.
And we'll do that.